game is the good, the bad, and the ugly, which is for 3 people. And 3 people are going to come up here, sit in these chairs. One person gives good advice, one person gives bad advice, and one person gives ugly advice. And the people in the audience are just going to ask them questions and get different advice. And throughout the game, we're just going to rotate, so every person will get a chance to each one. So we have Ryan and Sammy and you, sir. Wait. Then the outside.
We should play it again.
Yeah, I like that idea.
You can play one game and like one person kind of raises their hand and say one game.
I think we should do another
What? Alright, so Sammy, you currently give good advice, and Benji, you give bad advice.
So like genuinely
You
bad.
give ugly advice, which is just like the absolute worst.
Yeah.
So it's like a worse bad.
Yeah. So
It's like ridiculously bad.
It is like a
So it's
worse.
not
but
different
not-
from bad. It's
Not
just-
like good.
It's a whole new level.
It's like
Then
terrifyingly bad.
Okay.
It's like your neighbor's dog.
Just act like yourself, okay?
It's like
It's basically
it's like my dog has fleas. Take your dog to a clinic. Shave your dog. Set your dog on fire.
Done.
Alright, so do we have some pressing questions, Scott?
So I'm a married man. I have 3 kids, and I think I have feelings for my cat. What should I do?
I would suggest maybe to talk to a therapist about that.
Do what you want to do.
I think what my esteemed colleague means to say is that if you have feelings for your cat, you should run away with your cat. That's where your heart is, that's what you should do. You should leave your family behind. They wouldn't understand anyway. They'd probably just send you to a therapist.
Alright, we have another question. Nick.
I've been possessed by a demon for the last 7 days. What do I do?
Well, if you used to be a religious man, I guess you can call your person of chosen worship, and or tell someone, which I'm sure if you. Okay, I just.
Well, I think you should experiment. Make sure this is actually happening and set yourself a little bit on fire.
Right, you need to get rid of that son of a bitch. But you can't go to the church because the institution doesn't really understand. And besides, if they didn't have an enemy with the demons, they wouldn't exist. So they actually don't want to cure you. You need to do it yourself. I recommend pentagrams on the ground. At least 7 candles, and you need blood of an animal, an innocent one, like a sheep, not pigs. Pigs won't work. And in a basement, it has to be underground, preferably below sea level, although it's shady whether or not that works. You need to kill the sheep in the center of the pentagram, knock all the candles over one by one. The demon will get scared shitless because that is weird.
Okay, John.
So along a similar line of questioning, I woke up in the middle of the night the other night, and floating above me was a little girl with no eyes. And I thought it might have been a nightmare, but I woke up in the morning and I didn't have any eyes. So the question is, where can we find some new eyes?
I would proceed to the hospital as soon as possible.
Well, you know that guy from Pirates of the Caribbean? Just be like him, but with 2 good eyes.
As an expert on these sort of like weird happenings, we all know that when a messed up girl with no eyes appears and you wake up with no eyes, the girl has your eyes. You need to find that apparition, right? She's probably like alive now, walking around fine because she's passed on the curse. You need to give that curse back to her. Probably in your sleep. If you could just float over her in her sleep like she did to you, it should work. Clutch.
Okay, so now we're going to rotate. So, Sammy, you're going to be bad. Benji, you're going to be okay, guys. Ryan, you're going to be good. Right.
Yes,
that works.
we're going to go to
Physically rotate.
Oh.
Rotate the scene just to make it clear.
Ryan, give a good advice. This should be good.
My son wants to be a world-famous chainsaw jumper. Should I let him pursue it?
Absolutely. Start out with no, it's his dream. You can't squash his dreams. Foam chainsaws first. Don't kill the kid. Have practice. With like small sticks.
Okay. Of course you let him do it. Give him real chainsaws. Why the hell get foam piece of crap? I don't know. Like, really? You're just gonna wind up buying him in the long run once he gets good enough. You should just give him to him right off the bat.
Sir, what are you thinking? You want your son to start practicing juggling chainsaws? Can't you be more ambitious than that? We have Death Stars in the sky, man! That is all.
Okay. I'm having trouble filling out my taxes. Do you have any advice?
An accountant.
You know what?
Okay, so the problem with your taxes is that you have to file them with some institution called the IRS. And as we know, any institution made of 3 letters is, by definition, a pushover. So what you need to do is you need to find the IRS location somewhere between IR and S. And just light it up, set it on fire, and then you will no longer need to pay taxes. You may be in jail, but you no longer need to pay taxes.
Okay, Nick.
So I'm a 10-year-old boy, and I have this crush on this girl who lives a couple doors down from me, and yesterday I thought I'd tell her, but then I got nervous and I hit her in the shoulder, and she won't talk to me now. What do I do about that?
You need to buy her flowers. You need to visit her wherever she is, lying in bed, broken arm, whatever. Get her flowers, apologize sincerely, maybe a card.
Visit her, not just once, but once every day for 3 weeks. And every time bring her something more and more outrageous. I mean, like, first, yeah, give her a card, say I'm sorry. Flowers, maybe, and then, end with
Exactly how incapacitated is this child?
Okay, so as you give good advice, Ryan, you give bad advice, and you give ugly advice. Arthur.
I can't hold all these apples. What should I do? Drop them again.
Okay. Next time, before you pick up all those apples, I want you to invest in something that's called an apple basket. Okay? And then you put all your apples in them, preferably a large one, and then just stroll off with them.
Birds love apples, so if you get them to carry them around for you. Right? It's like a basket. Well, you don't even carry it.
eat all of the apples, all at once, until you fall into a food coma and start seeing apples flying past you.
Well, they might actually be.
John?
So my lifelong dream has actually been to juggle children. I've knocked on every door in the neighborhood and no one will lend me their children. So what do you recommend as a solution?
Okay. First, I suggest you start practicing with things that are children's size, maybe children's size eggs. Then you'll be able to see the consequences of every time you fail. Second, I suggest that you use your own children. So if you don't have your own children, either adopt or get working. And third, make sure they are of reasonable age and teach them how to count.
Your problem, as I see it, is in economics. It's supply and demand. Because families have very limited supply of children. What you needed to do is find a place with a bigger supply of children, like an orphanage or
Okay. So, you get in touch with your local crime syndicate. Yeah, have them kidnap a couple of children. I mean, why have to go anywhere? I mean,
I have an obsession with licking people's earlobes.
Okay, I believe this falls under the psychology. However, you should go find someone who does remember psychology, like a therapist, and get your problem sorted.
I know psychology, and as it turns out, there are people who love having their earlobes licked. So what you need to do is you need to find these people, support groups, or you can hang out around therapists without seeing them, just see their patients.
I don't even understand why you want to fix that. I mean, just walk around and lick people's earlobes, man. Be free.